Riverside FM.
Welcome to Small Chops, a podcast by friendly Black foodies. I'm Noelle.
And this is Ade.
And welcome to the first episode of Small Chops Podcast. We wanted to start this podcast as a way to talk about one of our favorite things, food, that we cook, we eat out, and see, and everything in between. So with that, let's get into our first segment, Foodie Faves. So, Ade, what do you think is the best dish that we ate this week?
Oh, I have to say the seafood pasta we made, that was really delicious. I remember having some for lunch as well. So that was really good.
Thank you. So that was a pasta that I made. It was a riff on I Am Ashley Brienne's salmon and tequila lime pasta. We had some excess shrimp from like another recipe, so I added it to that, and we didn't have tequila, so we didn't use that. But it was pretty good.
It was really good. Yep.
And then I recently had lunch for the first time at Deliciouser, and I have to say their Creole cottage fries were addicting. So that has to be one of my favorites.
Yeah, I saw a picture. I should definitely try it out.
What about something that's saved to our Instagram folders that we really want to make?
Well, I think we talked about this recently. I think we wanted to make some miso short ribs.
Mm-hmm.
Miso ginger short ribs. Yeah.
Yes, miso ginger short ribs by Caitlin Jensen. And I saw a slaw from the Kitchenista that we can make too that I think would be really good.
Kitchenista always hits. She always has the good stuff.
A restaurant that we want to try, I know I personally have been eyeing Lola's for a very long time, and we have been to their other restaurant, Cadre, so I'm sure it's great.
I'm more thinking a restaurant that I want to try. Well, I miss Chemistry in Chicago, but in Madison, I kind of want to go back to Sardine for brunch. I've tried it before, but I want to go back for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, excellent. Well, that's it for this segment. On to the next. So now we're in our next segment called What's Cooking. And we're going to talk about where we came from and why we started this podcast. No. So, why did we start this?
Man, oh man, that's $1 million question, right? Well, first of all, I've always had a big back. Always had a big back since I was a child. Big back. No, but like we've both always enjoyed food, and experiencing food. And when Noah and I love to watch food shows, so we started watching this food show on Netflix called Crispy Fried Fresh, by a YouTube content creator called Damon. And I told Noah, like, I can do that. So, we were in DC, and for those people who don't know, I'm international. So I'm originally from a country called Botswana, and I have to go to DC every couple of years to, renew my passport and my ID card from my country. So I took Noel with me after we got married to do that. And, it was restaurant week. And we had such good time trying different restaurants in DC and stuff, and documenting it and our experiences. And we were just like, oh, what if we started an Instagram? So Noella put the idea and worked on it, created Instagram on the plane right back. And we're just like, yeah, let's just try it. And it's been an interesting journey so far.
Yes. I remember after we came back from that trip, we had a late night in Madison, and we were running around looking for food. And we lived on the west side at the time, and we couldn't find anything to eat, and we had to eat Wendy's, and we were just like, Madison sucks. There's no food here. We should move to DC. And then, like, weeks later, as we gained more followers and started to build more of a community, we found food.
Yeah.
Shortly after, Therese, who owns Tricky Foods, along with, I think a friend that since moved away, created, like, a foodie group that, like, I think they only did one restaurant, but went out to, like, Little Palace and, like, got kind of inspiration and like a cool lecture in history about like the food and the restaurant and just the overall food scene in Madison. And so that was really cool. And we met a lot of other foodies in the area. And so that kind of like ignited our passion and made us discover Madison is actually a pretty strong foodie scene.
Yeah.
You just have to know where to look and figure out like what your palate is.
Yeah, and just kind of going on top of that, like I have started paying attention to James Beard Awards because of Madison restaurants, and Madison is consistently either a finalist or a restaurant in Madison, either a finalist or a semi-finalist in James Beard. For those who don't know, James Beard is like a national award recognition for restaurants with the best tasting food. So yeah, Madison has a lot to offer, and there's so many talented chefs here, so many.
And I think it also gave us an appreciation for exploring past trips. So we honeymooned in New Orleans a couple months before starting our foodie account. And so we actually took some really good pictures of a lot of our food, but that has given us such an appreciation for New Orleans as a city. And we like really, really want to go back because now we know even more spots to taste and just appreciate. We're so excited to go back.
Yeah.
City of New Orleans, if you want to sponsor us, come visit. Would love to experience Essence Fest one day in my life. So
Hit us up.
hit us up. But then one of our favorite cities being Chicago. I mean, we've talked about, we almost moved to Chicago because we just wanted a little bit more to do and just even more food. But we've talked about how visiting there, we could probably go there for 7 days and still not even hit all the restaurants we want to.
Yeah.
So that's something that has made us really appreciate like non-touristy Chicago and going like to different suburbs and just even unlocking all the different foods in like different areas of Chicago. I mean, you mentioned Chemistry earlier. That's like South Side. It's like a lounge brunch club, but you're getting like lamb chops, salmon and grits.
So good.
I think you had some type of French toast that was like out of this world. And you're getting like bottle service and it's like noon. It's great.
It's great.
The church ladies are there. The bachelorettes are there. It's a great time. But like wishing we could have something like that in Madison, but still appreciating where we live. Is something that has definitely come out of starting foodies.
Yeah. Just random sidebar, like what other restaurants in Chicago have you enjoyed? One that comes to mind is Ocean Prime, when we had that seafood steak.
I was pregnant, so I couldn't have the sushi.
Yeah.
But I would like to return.
That was dope.
Kins and Creole, which you took me. I was just telling my mom about that. I don't think that's a northwestern suburb.
No, I think it's south.
I don't know my directions. I don't drive. When we go to Chicago, he does, and I'm usually asleep. But that, I think it's the only Haitian restaurant in the Midwest.
Yeah.
Is what I've heard.
Yeah.
Very close to like Nigerian food, but with like a more Caribbean flavor. You actually had a coworker who you brought back a beef patty.
Yeah.
Who asked for one because they knew of the restaurant and knew how good it was.
Because that dad was Haitian, so yep.
We've also gone to Cindy's, which the food was a little weird for me.
Okay.
But the cocktails and like the
It was for the
view was
view.
really
The
good.
view,
Yeah.
So Cindy is next to the Bean. So if you ever want to check out Cindy's rooftop bar in Chicago.
But anyway, as we kind of segue into more of our home cooking journey, because that has been a journey in itself. So we're new parents. So our content has shifted from not as much eating out, because we do a fair amount of takeout now, or just more home cooking because it's expensive. Our son is 13 months, so he like actually eats. So we can't quite get away with like some of our like fancier food because like he needs to eat something. We were DoorDash divas for a little bit when we first started dating and we were first married.
Audience, I knew DoorDash by first name basis. Actually, one of the DoorDash people, I actually recommended him to join my company. And Noel was like, that's not normal behavior for you
Yeah,
to.
he had DoorDash Premium, and I was like, I think we were saving up for our wedding, and I was like,
Yeah.
we cannot be wasted money on Cheesecake Factory being delivered to our home.
Bro, my relationship with DoorDash was so good that I called customer service and I forgot to cancel the DoorDash, the delivery service. When Noel told me like 3 months later, they refunded me the 3 months back. They were just like, you have been a loyal customer, so we can give you your money back. So, shout out to DoorDash.
Oh, and that's not to say we're complete, like, food snobs. Like, I enjoy a large McDonald's fry now and again. Actually, a little bit more now, thanks to my office, are like McDonald's baddies. We love a Culver's,
I love a Costco hot dog.
a Costco hot dog. So we like our fast food, but it was a little out of control for like a year and a half.
Yeah.
So I think our home cooking has evolved. I mean, I remember when we were deep in the wedding planning process, we did HelloFresh for a long time. I think we continued it for like 6 months after we got married just because it was kind of nice not to grocery shop, but it got very old, but it gave us fresh ideas and it just took the burden off of grocery shopping for a bit. And I think we realized we have to cook somewhat gourmet or like a mix of somewhat gourmet meals so that we actually want to eat at home.
Yeah.
Because what we found is if we were just doing like chicken breast and white rice, we were like, okay, let's eat out
It was
tonight.
tedious, yeah.
And then we're wasting food. It's rotting in the fridge and we've gone to eat. So we've kind of changed and we're like, okay, we have to make something that's kind of interesting so that we actually want to eat it. And I think that's been pretty successful. I think now our barrier is we don't want to cook,
Yeah,
which is normal.
And as we've learned on this journey, like we've made some dishes that are, in my opinion, better than some of the takeout. It's really opened my mind to the culinary experience and how to make foods of different cultures, also respecting different cultures. So there's one cookbook that we really have right now that we really appreciate, is by Jose Andres. I forget the name. But it basically recipes from around the world. And we've just learned from like Asian dishes to South American dishes, just learning appreciation culture and the food that those cultures make. So it's been really a good journey.
Well, and with that cookbook in particular, which we have a bookshop link with the specific like titles of some of our favorite cookbooks, but specifically with his book, what's interesting is the recipes seem complex, but because like the theme of the book is like emergency aid recipes, they're actually like fairly simple to make. It's a lot of ingredient gathering, but it's kind of surprised us. I'm like, oh, this is actually like a weeknight meal. Now, some are not, like the Haitian griot. I'm like, we got to save that for like a holiday weekend or something. But a fair amount of them are like pretty good weeknight meals. I mean, speaking of like the takeout stuff, I'll have to tag the creator, but the fried rice I made earlier this week was like, oh, that was fast. I think we had everything in the house. And it was delicious. And like, that's takeout that we would normally get.
And I think that's the challenge with having a lot of people do takeout. Is just the planning that it requires, going ahead. But like what Noel and I do, we try to map our meals on Saturday, so we kind of have a roadmap of the stuff. And sometimes it doesn't work out all the way, but at least having a roadmap, we can eat out less.
Yes. I think too, in the beginning, when our son was first born, for those of you who don't have children, when they're really, really little, like newborn, you can wash them like in the kitchen sink, like not directly in the sink, but like in a little tub within the sink. And we realized it was a lot of work to do that and to cook in one day, because that meant, the sink has to be completely cleaned and sanitized.
Yep.
And then you have to get all the bath stuff out and do all that. And so we were like, let's sync his bath nights with our Uber Eats at the time, because again, deep in the newborn trenches. And so that was one of the first like shifts we had to make in terms of like parenting and eating. And now, like a full year later, not only are we contesting like nap time and bedtime, he eats, and he eats very well.
And he has strong opinions.
And he has really strong opinions. Earlier at dinner time today, the kid put guacamole on his head, like a hat. It's very cute. He'll be very moisturized. But it's caused some challenges in family dining out. And I've heard people say, don't give up. And I don't think we will. But I think we are cherishing our date night restaurants a little bit more.
Yeah.
Like, I can't wait to go back to Red.
Yeah.
Without him, because I don't believe I would bring a child there. I'll say it. I don't believe Red is a child-friendly place, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't wait to experience that together as a date night.
But to those people listening, like, I would encourage you to still take your child out.
Yes.
You know, just in social settings and stuff like that. But you know your child, and I think one thing that we learn about our child is like making sure that when we eat out, it's not close to nap times or making sure that the stuff on the menu that he can actually eat.
Happy hour is what we're taking advantage of.
Yeah, happy hour is really good. It's really good.
When he was really little, Bar Corleone, he's been 7 Acre. He's been to Les Delicias de Agua.
Yeah.
He's been to Ollie's.
Mm-hmm. So he's been with us a couple places.
I'm sure he's been with us a couple other places, but we have taken him out. It's just a little more challenging when you have a toddler.
Yeah, that wants to walk around and explore.
But it's also nice to find what's even more child-friendly. Deliciouser has said bring him, and based on going today, I would. Hop House, so breweries are very child-friendly, actually. Tons of other places we're excited to bring him. But there are some, like we went to L'Etoile without him. I would never bring him there.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so it is time for our last segment called The Simmer Down. So this is where we want to shout out a local business that is our favorite of the week. And this week we have chosen Brennan's. So Brennan's is a gourmet grocery store located on the west side of Madison. They specialize in a lot of wine and different alcohols and cheese. So if you're trying to make your charcuterie board, that is the place I would go. But they also have a really great selection of produce, like some of the best in my opinion. It makes me like want to eat fruits and vegetables a little bit more. So I love that. And we love their deli counter.
Yes. So hidden gem sandwiches from Brennan's. You can get them from 11 to 2 o'clock. Again, I told you I have a big bag, so I know the times that you can get the sandwiches. And they have really 4 main sandwiches. I love the Cubano, the Angry Rooster. Those are my 2 go-tos, but they also have, I think, a cheesesteak and another sandwich there. So they have like 4 or 5 different sandwiches that you can pick from. So yeah, it's really good. The trick is, like, you buy a sandwich, and then while they're making it, you walk around. They also have really good potato salad.
Yes, the seafood salad is what I was thinking about.
Yeah, so you can get some there. Usually Noelle and I, when we go grocery shopping and we're on that side, we might get a little snack or 2.
It's a great place. It smells awesome in there. They carry a lot of like local stuff. So they carry Clausen's Bakery. They carry Deliciouser. They make a lot of their stuff in-house. And if you're just looking for like a good gift or just a fun sauce or marinade, I would go there.
And they have recipes with the different products they have, which is also really cool. So, like, if you don't know what to make for dinner, like, they give a suggestion. Like, we actually made this, like, 2 weeks ago, a butter chicken pizza. So, they had a recipe with the butter chicken sauce. So,
definitely check out Brennan's whenever you're on the west side. That's it for our first episode of Small Chops. Thank you so much for listening. You can find us on Instagram at Friendly Black Foodies and Small Chops Podcast. And our website is friendlyblackfoodies.com. Thanks for listening.
Till later.
Bye.
Bye.